Didn't happen. We couldn't get our sound gear. Now we're inside. All right, Lord, what's your heart for this moment? And I felt like while we were worshiping, while Jasmine was just singing that, I felt like the Lord began to show me a picture of what he wants to do today, right now. And the last thing that we need in America are a bunch of worship fans. Please hear my heart on this. The last thing we need are more people. I gotta be careful, maybe I don't. Like, the last thing that we need in the day that we live right now is people that like worship. Does that make sense? Like they worship. They worship a brand. They worship a worship leader. They like music, and they're missing the focus that worship is a tool of activation. Like that's why we're trying to be very clear to people. Like when you come to Let Us Worship, this is not a CCM event. Our goal is not entertainment. And I'm not knocking those. When Christians need good entertainment. Like I want to bring my kids to a lot of that stuff because it's entertaining and it's awesome. But I felt like the Lord spoke to me about this group today inside. I felt like today was a training for war. I'm serious. And listen, I want you to hear me on this. If you're like, I don't know if I signed up for that. You're here, too bad. I feel like the Lord said that today, in this church, a house that houses worship and wildness, a house where you get crazy, awesome worship leaders like that, who's literally pregnant with a word and a baby, right? So there's something there. But I felt like the Lord said that today's going to be a training ground. I'm training the remnant of worshipers to not just worship, but to be activated to know how powerful their worship can be. And the Lord showed me a picture of Gideon, and I just want to read this really quick. And I feel like this is the visitation that God's giving us today that I'm going to have. I just want Jasmine to lead us again in that and sing that over us. And I feel like something's going to happen. We're not done. We're going to keep going. But I saw this picture of Gideon, and I haven't preached this since I was in a rural Indian village. The last time I shared this word, I remember where I was. I was in a rural Indian village, North India, with a bunch of former Sikh temple worshipers that just got saved and they wanted to learn how to become worship leaders. And I was gathered with them and I gave them this word, and this is the word I want to give you. It says, an angel of the Lord sat down under the oak tree where the son of Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon and he said, the Lord is with you, mighty warrior. And when the word of the Lord comes, it's always prophetic in nature to call you to who you're supposed to be. Some of you, like, even when I said that this is a training ground for war, you're like, I'm probably in the wrong place. I'm not that crazy. But the angel of the Lord said, the Lord is with you. And of course, Gideon said, pardon me, Lord, but if the Lord is with us, why has this happened to us? Where are all the wonders our ancestors told us about? Gideon literally starts whining to an angel. Like it doesn't get more American than this. He's so entitled that he thinks he has leverage to complain to an angel. Can you imagine doing that? Like, it's an angel in front of you. And the first thing you think about is, woe is me. You start to complain. The angel does not entertain his complaining. He just says this, go in the strength you have and save Israel. He doesn't even answer all of his complaints. Well, why has this happened? The angel just looks at him and goes, go and save Israel. Then Gideon says again, pardon me, my Lord, but how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest, and I am the least of my family. Again, the angel doesn't answer his woe is me, self-absorbed, self-entitled complaining. The angel just says this, I will be with you, and you'll strike down all the Midianites. Gideon replied, if I have found favor in your eyes, give me a sign. Anyway, long story short, this is what I'm getting at. Gideon is perpetually insecure. and begins to whine and complain about his position and how he's not called and how he's not anointed and how he's the least of the least and how there's probably other better people that the angel could pick. You know, I felt like this in 2020. It was like, God, there's way better people that could lead a revival movement, like way more talent, way more skill, way more ability. And I felt like the Lord said, I know, but you're the one that said yes. And I feel like God is looking for a remnant army today that's going to say, here I am. I may be the least of the least. I may have a lot of issues. I may not fully understand the season. I may be battling my own depression, my own insecurity, but I believe the word of the Lord. And I feel like God is raising up an army in 2023, and he's looking at you and he's saying, go and save America. Go and save your neighborhood. Go and save Texas. Go and save your city. You know you're called. You know you're anointed. So can we just do something today?